VHS BH1, a Granada VHS video recorder with automatic front loading and a height of only 4 inches. The machine has voltage synthesis tuning system with a capacity for 39 channels. Its timer will handle one program over 14 days or can be set for weekly recordings. To help you become familiar with the machine, this technical introduction booklet covers its features, dismantling, panel layout, IC types, power supply test points and the technical specifications of the machine. All the main controls are below the cassette slot, and to the left of these are the operate switch and eject button. There is no need for a timer button because when program times have been stored, the machine automatically records from the standby mode. The less frequently used controls are here behind this hinged door. The voltage synthesis tuning system allows the storing of fine-tuning information with or without AFC. To overcome the need to step through 39 channels, the unused locations can be eliminated from the channel up and down sequence. This can be done by selecting the unwanted channel, setting the normal select switch to select and pressing the clear button. Sound and vision will disappear to indicate that the channel has been erased from memory. This can be repeated for each unwanted location. After eliminating these unwanted locations, move the normal select switch to normal. The timer is designed to provide one event over 14 days or weekly. Programming the timer is straightforward. Press the program button, select the channel number required and press the store button. Press the set button to select the day of recording. Press the store button. Press the set button to enter the hours for the start of the recording. Press the store button. Press the set button to enter the minutes. Press the store button. The hours and minutes can then be entered for the stop time in the same way. And finally, the store button is pressed. The word prog will appear in the display to confirm the entry. To check the times programmed into the memory, press the Set Check button. To clear the memory, press the Check Set button followed by the Reset button. Operation of the VHS BH1 is therefore simple, and the neat, uncluttered layout of the controls inspires confidence to the user. At the back of the machine are all the input and output sockets, with further controls for adjusting the RF channel, generating the test signal, plus an aerial attenuator switch to reduce interference when receiving a very strong signal. To gain access to the machine, first remove the hinged door. Then remove the top, which is held with 3 screws. Remove the base by removing 6 screws. And if necessary, remove the front by removing 3 screws and releasing 3 clips. Once dismantled, all the PCBs and components are easily accessed. The tuner and IF PCB is behind the head drum assembly, with the main power supply over to the right hand side. The voltage synthesis tuning PCB is behind the clock display board, and the operation switch PCB is in front of the clock display, sloping forward. This board on the left hand side of the operation switch board is the function PCB. Turning the machine on its side reveals the main PCB containing the system control, servo and audio circuitry, and to the rear of the deck is the YC board. The deck is similar to the VHS AH1, but to reduce the height of the machine, the VHS BH1 deck has a low-profile head drum assembly. The head drum motor is a direct drive two-phase type, but the capstan motor, loading motor and cassette loading motor are all DC types. The mechanism position is sensed by a mecha state switch, and the brakes are operated by the loading mechanism. Access to the mechanics can be made simpler by removing the cassette loading mechanism. This can be removed after taking out the head drum screening plate, which is held in by 3 screws, and removing a further 2 screws which are securing the cassette loading mechanism. To enable the mechanism to operate with the cassette lift removed, link pins 2 and 5 of plug CN04, which is shown here. The main PCB contains the system control, servo and audio circuitry. The system control circuitry is built around IC 901, a 64-pin device. Drive to the cassette loading motor and the tape loading motor is achieved by IC 902, although IC 902 is controlled by IC 901. IC 903 forms part of the A to D converter required by the function switches. Now let's take a look at the servo circuitry. Most of it is built around 3 ICs. IC 601 provides drive to the two-phase head drum motor. IC 603 drives the DC capstan motor, with IC 604 incorporating both phase and speed circuitry for the capstan and head drum. Phase control for the capstan and head drum employ digital techniques. Test points for setting up purposes are brought out on various pins around the PCB. IC 501 provides switching for the video and audio inputs. IC 503 contains voltage regulators and video out signal processing, with IC 504 providing the test signal and sync detection for the voltage synthesis tuning. Audio switching and bias oscillator switching is carried out by IC 401, with IC 402 processing the audio signal. To gain access to the print side of this board, remove 6 screws and release 2 clips. The board will then hinge out. The luminance-chrominance processing is very similar to the YH2, although 2 of the modules have different type numbers. After removing the fixing screws, the board can be removed for access to the print side. Turning next to the top of the machine, the voltage synthesis board, IC 701 is responsible for the channel up and down, tuning and timer button input processing, AFC and tuning voltage generation. This unit contains the tuner and IF processing. Video detection is carried out by IC 801. Audio detection and amplification takes place in IC 802. And the entire unit can be removed by releasing 4 screws. The power supply main LT rails are generated on the regulator board. All the voltage regulation is handled by a single package IC containing 3 12-volt regulators and a 16-volt regulator. Necessary LT switching is also incorporated in this package. Unregulated supplies are derived from 2 bridge rectifiers. The main LT rails can be found together on PG151. Pin 1 is the A 17-volt rail, pin 6 the A 12-volt rail, pin 8 the plus 12-volt rail, pin 9 the 12 or 16-volt rail, and pin 11 the A 8-volt rail. 3 fuses are fitted to protect the LT rails. These are placed in the AC feeds to the rectifiers. A 4th fuse, seen here, is in series with the primary winding of the transformer. By removing 5 fixing screws, the whole of the power supply, including the mains transformer and regulator heatsink, can be lifted out of the machine. With the system control and servo circuitry, each built around single chip technology, the number of electrical adjustments has been dramatically reduced. Add to this voltage synthesis tuning with the 39 channel capacity and easy access to all panels, the VHS BH1 represents today's technology in home entertainment.